The Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr Speaker, nature has tested the people of Canterbury. It has literally shaken us to our core, and the tragedies that have occurred are a knife in the heart of every Cantabrian and every Kiwi as a whole. But it has not broken us, sir. We thought, I think, as Cantabrians that we had dodged the bullet the first time, but as others have said, our community has lost friends, has lost family members, has lost loved ones and mates. Many of us have seen things that we did not think we would see, sir, in our country. Men and women in the eastern suburbs in the days after the quake walking through a combination of silt and sewage to get out of their homes and to some safety, not having a bottle of water to wash it off. Others, like a woman in Cal Stadium who said, "I have no home, I've lost everything." There have been, of course, those heroes, sir. I recall at around 1 a.m. on the morning of day 2, going to the Hagley Welfare Centre and meeting a rather robust and tall St John's officer and asking him how he was as he directed his troops, and him saying that his family, most of them were okay, except he worried about Dad, and this guy would have been 60, so Dad would have been 85 odd, who had gone into the city that day and he was not sure where he was. Well, the manager of the Burnside Welfare Centre, who again when asked, "How are you?" said his family was okay, but he'd lost his best mate, a mate who had a home in Littleton with a family, who after the quake drove to the Littleton Tunnel, could not get through, thought, "I will do it the old-fashioned way," parked his car, walked the bridle path and was killed by a road boulder and never made it home. Also to the heroes, like a chap called Senior Sergeant Roy Apley, who together with Jane Rattray and volunteers from Rangiora fed the eastern suburbs by air and by land for over a week and a half. And I make a plea to the government that those heroes need to be listened to. Those men and women and agencies on the ground need to be listened to by the key decision makers in the coming days who are deploying resources to where they need or should go. Because people like Roy Apley and others can tell you better than any memo as they stand on a street corner where the portaloos should go, where the hot meals are needed, and where the love and comfort, sir, is required. So what do people want in our province of Canterbury? They want their dignity back. They want their lives back. But they also want, sir, I put it to you, cool-headed, considered plans to be put in place for the recovery. They do not want, sir, knee-jerk reactions. They do not want, sir, speculative musings that, if they are reported incorrectly, can fill people full of fear and full of confusion. They want a recovery plan, sir, that is not bureaucratic, but one that is inclusive, swiftly implemented, but inclusive of their community. And they want, sir, to be listened to. I want to conclude by reading the lyrics from a mate of mine. Son sent me a song that he'd written in his back bedroom a week before the quake, originally to mark the death of his father, but he rededicated it to the victims of the earthquake. And as he put it, it illustrates the pain and devastation of the folks in Canterbury, and it is called Streets of Heaven, and I quote, "Not sure I can make it through the night, as my eyelids are cut from all the crying. As the rain starts to fall, I slump against the wall. It's like someone took a knife to my life. It feels so cold without you now. Can I walk with you on the streets of heaven, just like we used to do so long ago? Can I walk with you on the streets of heaven, just for a while, just to be with you again on the streets of heaven?" Mr. Speaker, there is a dust cloud that hangs over Canterbury, and it is a dust cloud that is filled and mixed with tears. It is hard to say this or even perceive it for those folks who are living through it. But I say that Canterburyans will once again walk the streets of their great city and their great province, hand in hand with their families and hand in hand with the spirits of the loved ones that they have lost, in a rebuilt and better city that reflects their strength, their generosity of spirit and their sheer humanity. That, sir, I believe, is the hope that all of us must cling to.
Nicky Wagner.